Donald Trump is already forecasting all the terrible things he plans to do if he's reelected. So it should come as no surprise that the former president and current Republican frontrunner decided to spend the last week vowing to replace the wildly popular Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, with a new plan, and even posting for good measure on social media, Obamacare sucks. The Biden campaign has already sprung into action, aiming to weaponize Trump's threat to repeal a health care law that's provided coverage to millions of Americans. Joining me now, North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, whose state just expanded Medicaid yesterday and will likely be one of the key battleground states in 2024. Governor Cooper, welcome back to the show. Thank you very much for being here. Explain how the issue of health care has played out in your state, which Donald Trump won in 2016 and 2020.
Well, Donald Trump, this was his closest win. He only won North Carolina by 1.4% in 2020. So we plan to win North Carolina for Joe Biden in 2024. But let me tell you, the signing bonus that the Biden-Harris administration gave to states that would expand Medicaid was significant in allowing North Carolina to convince a Republican legislature to give health insurance to 600,000 more working North Carolinians. And we're talking about people who are our child care workers, people who stock our grocery store shelves, people who look after our seniors, people who had been making too much to qualify for Medicaid, but not enough to qualify for subsidies under the Affordable Care Act. Medicaid expansion was a key component of the Affordable Care Act. And now in North Carolina, after a decade of fighting a long and winding road, we've gotten a Republican legislature to say yes. And this shows you that the Affordable Care Act and Medicaid expansion is popular across the board because health insurance means so much to American families.
You know, President Biden warned voters in Colorado this week that Donald Trump could repeal the ACA. Watch this.
Meanwhile, my predecessor wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. Over 40 million Americans today get their health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. His plan is to throw them off that plan.
You know, when Donald Trump was president, he never repealed the Affordable Care Act. So what makes you think this isn't just a hollow threat 4 years later?
Well, this is one of the few campaign promises that he actually tried very hard to keep. As you recall, in 2017, we came perilously close to losing the Affordable Care Act. He pushed this very hard. I think it was a one-vote margin. So we better believe him when he says he's coming after this. And, you know, it's amazing that he actually did this again because it didn't work out so well for Republicans when they tried to eliminate health care for millions of Americans. Donald Trump is really good at reading a room full of conspiracy theorists. He's not very good at reading a room full of Americans who need health care. I just couldn't believe that he was bringing this up again. I think many Republicans were upset as well because this is so popular across our country. Mm-hmm. But when you think about these American families who are now getting the health insurance they need, and when you think about the 10 red states that have extremists who are blocking Medicaid expansion, North Carolina provides a plan for them. We pushed in a bipartisan effort to get this health care in place to expand Medicaid. Jonathan, we actually would have tough on crime Republican sheriffs come to the legislature to testify that many of the people that they have to deal with or have substance use disorder or suffering from mental illness, and that these people need health care and not handcuffs. Republican rural county commissioners watching their rural hospitals begin to close know that Medicaid expansion can help keep those alive. People who know that insurance companies could block them with a pre-existing condition know that the Affordable Care Act protects them. When you rip the Affordable Care Act away, you're taking power from the people and giving it to the insurance companies. This is what Donald Trump wants to do. And at the end of the day, as we go through this next year, when this campaign is coming, we'll see that Joe Biden has done more the first 2 years as president than most presidents could hope to do in 2 terms. And as a governor, I'm working hard to implement the Inflation Reduction Act, the American Rescue Plan, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act, CHIPS and Science Act. It's going to make a real difference over time, a generational investment for our country. And at the end of the day, when the choice is Joe Biden and Donald Trump, Joe Biden is going to get reelected. But we cannot take anything for granted, because we know the damage that Donald Trump can cause this country, our democracy, women's reproductive freedom. He's going to come after all of it.
Amen to that message. And hopefully bedwetting Democrats out there will take that to heart. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, as always, thank you very much for coming to this show.
Thank you, Jonathan.